Gayflation, gayflation. We live in a world with gayflation, sheepflation, sheepflation. Things just keep going up, going up, going up. Life's getting harder and going up, going up. What's up, everybody? So today we're going to be talking about sheepflation and why it makes people's lives a living hell. You know, how unbearable it is. Just having to spend money for every little thing in general is a pain in the motherfucking ass. But now spending double of the money just makes things twice as bad. So yeah, I'll get into the topic right now. Yep. We live in a world where everything just keeps getting more and more expensive. You know, even if the war in Ukraine wasn't a thing, inflation would probably still be a thing to some extent. You know, literally life itself just keeps getting expensive either way, you know. What used to cost $50 is now $100. Now that it's $100, now it might be $150. You get the point. It's just going to keep going up, 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 up. You know, we'll work, trying to make ends meet, doing things we truly hate doing, but we have no choice. We got to put bread on the stupid table. And no, not actual bread. Paper bread. But, yeah. To maybe get bread, if you get what I mean. But, you know, we got to try to make ends meet, put a beating on our bodies, and barely have enough to, you know, actually do something that we might want to do, whether it's going out or having fun doing some kind of activity. Nope. You're basically just putting all that hard work onto paying bills, paying necessities that you need, food, electric, you know, you name it. That's where all that hard-earned cash goes on. You know, all that hard-earned cash that you sacrificed all week doing to get your paycheck. That's where it pretty much all goes to. Oh, and some gets taxed to the government. You can't forget to say that. You can't forget to say that. Horrible. And the crazy thing is, no matter how bad life gets with inflation or, you know, just, yeah, inflation, things getting expensive, things just going haywire, like, you know, crimes increasing, all of the above of drama. No matter how bad life gets, there's two things that we will always do no matter what. Number one, we'll keep having kids. Number two, when it's New Year's Eve, we'll all be hyped for New Year's Day. No matter how bad life gets, the roads could be filled with fire, lava, whatever you want to call it. And each year that goes by, it's getting worse and worse with lava. Really, it's getting worse and worse with potholes. But now let's say in the potholes is lava and fire. But that still won't stop us for getting ourselves into the meaningless spirit of saying, I can't wait for next year. It's going to be the same thing. The pothole's still going to have that lava and fire in it. Actually, it's not going to be the same. It's going to be even more fire and lava. But yet we're still hyped for another year of what? I don't fucking know. And no matter how bad life gets, hey, I want to have a kid. I want to be a daddy. I want to be a good dad. Be a good dad, don't have a kid. Then you can consider yourself a good dad. You have a kid? Shame on you. You know, just being truthful there, man. It's just sickening, and it's just like, are people this fucking stupid? It's just sickening to know no matter how bad life gets, no matter how expensive life gets, we'll always keep being hyped for New Year's. We'll always be wanting to have kids. We'll always be wanting to do these things. We're under so much stress, and yet we add more stress that we don't even have to add. I mean, we have stress that we can't control as it is from, the money, bills, and all that bullshit. But now, let's add more stress on our shoulders by having a kid. And if the kid doesn't do exactly what we want the kid to do, we get all, oh, man, fuck. Yo, man, you're not doing good in school, man. Or this kid's driving me crazy. He's too wild. He's too hyper or whatever the hell. Yo, sit down. I told you not to play with that. Don't touch that. No, you're going to hurt yourself. No. They put all that stress onto yourself. And that's where I say I don't feel bad for parents in that way because, hey, you signed yourself for that. You literally signed yourself by doing that. The kid, on the other hand, didn't ask to be here. Like us in general, we didn't ask to be here. It's not like we signed a contract, some kind of exception, whatever, to say, all right, I agree to the guidelines, I agree to the terms and all the consequences that life offers, and, I agree to it, and I still want to be here. That's different, but we ain't agree to that. So that's why when people say you're a loser, you're a bum, or you're a waste of life, or whatever, just whatever insult that people come up with, I always say to myself, how are we a loser when we didn't even ask to be in this? It's like you played a lottery, for example. Listen, most likely you lose. Let's say you played a Mega Million or Cash for Life or just whatever. And you pretty much ain't going to get the drawings. It's just nearly impossible. It does happen to some fortunate people, but very, 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 very rare. But, yeah, you lose the numbers. You didn't get the bits, the bet, whatever, the bidding numbers. Yeah, then I guess you could say you're a loser in that way. What I mean by loser, like you lost the ticket because you agreed to play the ticket, so you lost. But what I'm trying to basically say out of this, we ain't agreed to play life. It just actually randomly happened to us. So how the hell do we lose something we didn't ask to even play from the start, from the beginning? That's what I always say to myself every day in my head. People have the nerve to say this about us, say that about us, but did we really ask to be here? No. So why the hell do I gotta just randomly spawn? I always love using that term, spawn. And now if I don't like doing a certain thing that other morons like doing or, feel that's right to do, I'm a misfit. I'm something wrong with me. I need to go to counseling or something. I mean, it's fucking, I can't, man. I just can't take it anymore. I can't take this stupidity. It's so fucking crazy, man. Not everybody's going to like the same color. I like the color red and blue. Not everyone here is going to say, I like that color too. Another person's going to be like, I like green. I don't like red. What? Red is the best, sickest color out there. What the hell's the matter with you, man? You got to get help, man. You should go see a therapist because everyone loves the color red, Red's the shit, man. Red's the color of basically when you hit the record thing on your phone. The little square thing. Man, I'm just trying to make a little silly joke in here, but, that's basically where that goes as. Like, we all have different things that we like to do or don't do. Not everybody's going to like pancakes. Not everybody's going to like waffles, which they're practically almost the same, but you get what I'm trying to say? Not everyone's going to like the same task. And it's like that's what we're all programmed to do. We're all programmed, we got to work, we got to like it, we got to accept it. Unfortunately, yeah, we have no choice but to accept it because we're literally fucking forced to do it. Because if not, then, spare change, ma'am. Basically that life. Unless you could try to find a way to survive off the grid, I mean, there's people that find ways, but it's not really easy and simple. I mean, at least not that I could see. But, yeah, it's just fucked up shit, guys. Real fucked up shit. We're literally judged by every little thing. We're judged by our actions. We're judged by our appearance, how we dress, what we like, what we don't like. Everything's just petty shit. Like everything's just, I don't know how to explain it, man. Give me a moment. Little brain fart there. Guess basically what I'm trying to say is it's like what a specific person likes, the other person, like What I like, he or she's got to like. And if he and she, for example, doesn't like it, I think weird of that person, I guess. That's basically what I'm pretty much trying to get out of that. But yeah, I mean, it's fucking stupid, man. That's what makes us all unique if you think about it. All, us liking different things. I liking this, you liking that. We're all unique. We all like and have interests in, different shit, whatever shit it might be. But yeah, But it's like we're all got to be tied down to like the same thing. And if we don't like the same thing or we don't think the same way as how everyone else does or how most people do, we're considered weird, freaks, whatever. It's just stupid shit, man. Then you get a lot of people that be like, I wish I could be a kid again where I felt like life was better. Now, I never feel like, I mean, life was easier maybe back then. And obviously it was a lot cheaper. That's the truth, can't deny that. But I feel like life was always a curse. It was maybe a little bit less stressful, but still stressful at the same time. But the main reason why we say we wish we could go back to the good old days, because the good old days mainly is when we're a kid and we really don't know really what a shithole yet this life really is. We're all still in like that fantasy world or whatever, or just clueless of what society truly is. But the truth is, I feel like we always have pressure no matter what. We always have pressure from the moment we're born to the moment we pretty much friggin' die. Because when you're a kid, you're in school. And what are you being pressured and stressed about? Making sure you pass your classes, your grades, making sure you get a good, report card or whatever the hell. Making sure you please mommy and daddy, because if you don't get a good report card, they're going to take your Xbox or PS5 or whatever gaming console that you might have away because you didn't do good in school. They should be the ones that should be grounded, bringing us poor people clueless into this shit dump. So yeah, like back to what I'm trying to say, like we're just being pressured from the moment of birth. Like, already gotten to go to school, got to worry about passing this class. If not, you're going to get left back another year, or you got to go to summer school, whatever the hell. I mean, you got to make sure you pass this final, this test, that test. And then when you go to college, let's just say, then you got to worry about basically the same thing, passing the classes, and no less you're paying. So now you really, now you got to have pressure of possibly going in debt. Then you got to have pressure of being at a job, making sure you do what's right at the stupid job so you don't get fired or whatever, and that you keep showing up to that stupid job so you can make ends meet, so that you can pay your bills, your necessities, your food, whatever the fuck. So we always literally have pressure on our fucking shoulders. Weight, pressure, whatever, We're always constantly under pressure, stress, worries. How we're going to keep maintaining this specific thing. Like, for example, how am I going to maintain passing class? I got to keep my, I got to keep my brain occupied, I guess. It's literally our whole life under fucking pressure. It just goes through phases. When we're kids, school's the phase. As we get older, paying for school's the phase. Then getting a stupid job, that's the phase. Well, now bills are the phase. Taxes are the phase. You name it's the phase. And then we eventually die. Something that we could just wish we could fast forward to now to escape all this meaningless bullshit that we got to deal with now. It's just I don't see the point in it. Now, I'm not saying with all that being said, don't do it. I mean, we have no effing choice. I don't know how anyone wants to do it. That's the thing that really gets to me. Like, truthfully, I can understand people doing it because they have no choice. But people that say I actually like doing it. I mean, I guess there's certain things people like to do it, I guess. I mean, but I don't know, man. I don't know. To each their own, I guess, To each their own. That's where I'm going to just leave that as. But yeah, inflation. Yes, it makes life obviously more unbearable than it already is. Life's unbearable as it is. Just like this is where it goes back to saying how life was cheaper back then, which it was. But life still wasn't really a gift because you still had to pay bills in the past. Probably just wasn't as high as they are now, but still you were paying bills. So you were always paying fees from the moment, from the moment of being born, you're always under pressure still. You still had to worry in the old days about passing school, getting a good report card, stupid tests and shit. I'm pretty sure stupid gay regents were a thing at the time too. or SAT. Well, SATs, I think, is when you go to college or whatever, college. But it was another thing, the finals or whatever the hell, I forgot. The midterms, that's what, yeah, the midterms. I'm pretty sure that was all a thing in the past too. But it just over time gets more and more unbearable. Always had to pay for things. Money was always a fucking object. And to some extent, maybe it has to be. I mean, don't get me wrong, but I literally feel like it becomes super overrated to the point where you literally can't get nothing done or nothing completed without some fucking rectangular fucking money, paper. You have the equipment to save this person's life, but he doesn't have insurance, money, paper, whatever the hell you want to call it. So, therefore, let him die. At a situation like that, money shouldn't be an object. Money shouldn't even be an issue. Who cares if he or she has money in that situation? Save that effing person's life. Do we really, really care more for a piece of paper than more than an actual person? Yeah, seems to be. Sad. I mean, if people don't find that sickening and disgusting and just pure evil, I don't know what they're expecting, I don't know. I mean, I find that really, really, really fucking fucked up, man. Like, people say life was better back then. To some extent, maybe. But with that being said, I don't feel like life was ever good. There was always suffering in life. In the 1800s, the war and all that, the Civil War, all that shit. And just think about it. At that era, we weren't here. I wasn't here, obviously. I was long gone. I wasn't even close to being born at that time, But think of how much I missed. And just like I always say, think of how much we could have just continue missing if we just would have never existed from the start. There's always torment in life. Life is always full of torment. It just goes through different phases of torment, That was the torment in the 1800s, but it's almost like history repeats itself because look at Ukraine and all that shit. I swear to God, though, guys, there's times I even forget there's a war going on because it's so fucking stupid, like you don't really hear too much about it. It's like we're just not as obsessed with it anymore. It's not like a big trend of what it felt like when it first started, So it's like, yeah, there's times I even forget that shit's even going on. It's like everything just gets boring after a while. Even people losing their lives, even people getting killed and bombed and blown up even gets boring to us at some point. It's crazy, man. Everything just gets played out, literally. Everything's just a temporarily feeling. Someone passes away, you cry, you get upset. Then over time, you learn to live with it, which, you have to. Unfortunately, you have to. But that what I'm trying to say is, like, after a while, we just get, all right, life goes on, and it's true, life does go on. Ooh, that song's catchy. Yeah, it's not really digging it anymore like I used to. I don't know. I mean, I used to love that song. Now it's like, it's all right. I mean, like that, we get bored of shit, I don't get it, man. I don't get it. I don't think I'll ever be able to fucking get it. When people say to me, for example, do you wish you could just go back to the good old days? Hell yeah. But what I look at the good old days were when I wasn't born. Now, I'm not trying to sound, right away to, sheep-minded people. I'll automatically be known to be a depressed person. I'm just being truthful. I don't feel I'm depressed. I'm just, the good old days to me when I wasn't here, period. When I was in a blissful state, not existing. Not having to worry how I'm going to pay this on time. Not worrying about, am I going to get A's or am I going to pass my report card or my midterm or whatever the fuck that I got to fucking worry about being a human effing being. None of that shit mattered. It was just a nice, peaceful, blissful state of nothingness. And then we just come out of it for this bullshit. And this is where all the stress and pressure begins. So the good old days to me is when there weren't no days for me at all. When it was just pure nothingness. Hey, if it sounds dark to some people, hey, to each their own. But that's just how I fucking feel. I don't make videos to try to bring people down, to put people in depressed moods or to make people feel negative. I just make these videos because I'm trying to speak as realistically as I can. Because it's just common knowledge. It's like, if people don't see for what life is, I don't know what's wrong with people. If they live under a rock, or they just maybe got hit with a rock to the point where they're brain damaged, they're only taught to see what they're programmed to see. I mean, but I don't make these videos to try to make people feel depressed or come to the point where nothing really matters. But with that being said, I'm not saying don't try to do anything or just quit whatever that's not my goal of why I'm making these videos. I mean, the real reason why I'm making these videos is because I like to express how I truly feel. And it's just, these rants are just something you could just go on for hours and hours and days talking about it. And there's always more and more seasoning that you could add into these rants, because it's disgusting of how we live. And it's so disgusting how we live that ranting about it just sort of gives me some sort of joy and a little bit of ease on my heart, I guess, on my shoulders. But really, I mean, it's not really curing anything. And plus, it's making people feel like they're less alone, because there's probably some people that think these exact ways. Well, obviously there's people that think these exact ways, but probably there's some people that thinking these certain ways think that they're the only ones that think this way, that that they think they're crazy or whatever because they feel alone. Everyone around them don't have these thoughts, like their family, their parents, their friends, whoever. They'll automatically be like, man, get a grip, that's the way life fucking works, And then right there you feel like, yeah, fuck. It's like, sometimes you feel like you're not like you do. You feel alone. You literally feel alone. Then you come across a channel like mine, and then people be like, oh shit, that's exactly how I friggin' feel. I knew I wasn't crazy all along, or I knew I wasn't alone, but I thought I was, And there's other people that talk similar things of me, of what I say, So you come across these channels, and then it gives you some kind of, I guess you could say, joy, or I guess just some ease, knowing that you're not crazy, or you're not the only one that thinks this way. You're not the only person that has these thoughts. Sadly, you're pretty much the only person probably in families or friends that have these thoughts. But in general, people out there have these thoughts. But sadly, it's all through the internet. It's like, truthfully, I can only relate to people on the internet. Everyone around me are complete morons. I mean, some see it, but it's like, I feel like I can have more of an actual conversation with a complete stranger on the internet than I can with my own parents, my own family, my own friends. And it's just, it sucks. That's why we end up feeling like we're alone. Then sometimes we start maybe even going deep inside, like saying to ourselves, what if we are crazy? What if, maybe I ain't right in the head or whatever. Meanwhile, it's nothing really wrong with you. You just see what life truly is. Doesn't mean you have a fucking disease like people want to say you have. They try to manipulate you into, yeah, you should go seek a shrink, a therapist, or whatever. You're not thinking right, man. You're out of touch with reality. And it's not that we're out of touch with reality. We just see all the negative bullshit that reality is, and us being not wanting to not want to be a part of it. That's not really like being sick or anything. It's just we don't want to deal with this nonsense. I mean, if I'm killing people or whatever and I'm getting joy out of that, yeah, then there's something wrong with me. But we would just have common sense and seeing what a fucked up piece of shit system this all is, and how we don't want to really be any part of it, and how, like, we'll say we just want to fast forward to the end, automatically we're known to be depressed, sick inside. And it's just not true in any fucking way at all. I ain't a therapist, and I'm pretty much saying the actual truth. I should be an actual therapist, and there's actually people that said I should be. Heck, if I was a therapist, I'd be the most awokenest therapist probably that ever existed. The info that these therapists give is so fucking, they just feed you into the fucking system, when the system's what's making you feel this horrible way. But sadly, what do? There's no escaping it, unfortunately. At least not that I can figure out. It's not as simple as people may think it may be. I always love going deep though in these videos. It always comes to a point in the video where I like to get deep in certain conversations like this, because it's just, I like to reason with people, if that makes any any sense. I like relating with people. I like when people have the same thoughts. I like how we all have the same mindset. It makes us feel less alone and less crazy because, like I say, we're not really fucking crazy. We just have obviously common mother effing sense that these morons don't, or they're just in denial and don't want to admit it. Who the hell knows? But yeah, fortunately, man, it's going to get worse and worse, man. I just truly wish an asteroid would come and hit us all. And don't get me wrong, if that were to be the case, would I be nervous? People would say I would be. But the only thing I would say that I'll be nervous is just what it's going to feel like. But hopefully it's just a 1, 2, 3 process that it's just, it lights out, They were saying on the news, if I'm not mistaken, in 2045, an asteroid supposedly on Valentine's Day. What a perfect time while you get stupid sheeps kissing. Babe. Which, hey, I got nothing against that, but you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, babe, I'll pay for dinner here, I'll get the shit. When the fucking asteroid just comes and kills the dumbasses. But unfortunately, it'll never happen because what ends up happening, NASA, if I'm saying that correctly, NASA sheeps will always blast it away. They could be and plus the main things that always come are always small or whatever. But even if there was something, let's just say big enough to come and, crush the whole Earth, let's say, they'll probably use some kind of equipment to blast it till it gets small, until it's practically nothing, or just like, regular asteroids that previously hit the Earth that did cause destruction, but not to the point where the whole world is doomed, unfortunately. But, instead of just letting it just fucking 1, 2, 3 end this shit. Think about it this way. By them preventing it from ending the world, all that causes is more mayhem. All we're going to just keep doing is killing each other. We're going to keep having murderers, serial killers, rapists, all that shit. Crimes, it's just going to keep remaining a circus. So I say to myself, an asteroid would just finish it 1, 2, 3. It would just cut right to the chase and just fucking end humanity, end this whole fucking shithole once and for all. Because that's what we're basically just doing already, in the slow, tormented, pathetic way. But yeah, unfortunately, when I hear about these things, I don't get excited because I know it's pretty much bullshit. And even if, let's say, there is something out in space that's extremely big and it's probably gonna, let's say, supposedly cause the world to crumble, we end up finding a way to blast the fucking thing. It's like, we can't just let this planet collapse. We can't just let this fucking planet collapse once and for all. The amount of suffering and unbearable torment that we got to deal with every day of waking up in this shithole. And you say to yourself, like, can't there just be an end in sight? Can this just fucking be over once and for all? And I'm not trying to sound dark, man. That's the thing. A lot of people find me dark, but it's just, what do you get out of living? You just hear negativity every day on the news. You turn on the TV, you turn on the news. This happened, that happened. Someone got slashed. Someone's house just burned down, or whatever. Just always something going wrong. Always crazy shit. Shootings. Nothing ever positive. Really barely anything ever positive. So that's why I say, if life is full of negativity, why can't it just come to an end? Oh, I'm negative for saying that, though. But people slack to understand life itself is fucking negative. God damn it, bro. But anyway, I think I made my speech for the night. Anyway, guys, like I'm always say, love you all. Getting closer to 4,000 subscribers. Can't thank you all enough for that. Truly appreciate it. And, yeah, guys, care for every one of yous. Hope everyone is safe out there in this cruise shit fucking circus of a world. I truly mean that from the bottom of my heart. I truly hope everyone out there hangs in there. If anyone has bad conditions, I truly hope there's a way that somehow you can manage it or get better. Like I said, if I had a magic wand, I swear I would use it, man. Sadly, Fairly Odd Parents, sadly ain't a thing, but yeah, guys, I appreciate the love. I truly do, and I love you all back. Anyway, peace out, guys. Jeeps.